Sometimes you just have to show up. We all get in our own heads about what we should be saying or doing or how we look to other people, what other people are thinking about us. And when it comes to our kids, we definitely get in our heads about what we think the perfect parent does and says. And, the reality is that our kids are so happy to just have us show up, have us be there. And really, everybody, take it or leave it, they appreciate you just being you. And if they don't, then they don't belong there. They don't belong in your world, right? So just showing up is so important to living an authentic life where you feel fulfilled. And it really gives you your power back, because when you show up and you can just be you, you don't have to second guess yourself or doubt or get in your own head. You can just be, and you can thrive, and you can own it and love who you are with confidence, and just be sure. That's what our kids need to see. Our kids need to be around us as we are, imperfect and all. So here's how I show up. To start, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Lindsay Lowrance. I am a therapist in Colorado, working with couples, new moms, and twin parents. And I'm also a life coach as well. So I show up on here. I do Facebook Lives, and I've got to say, at first, it scared me, it terrified me, because I felt like I needed to look a certain way, and I needed to have the right video and technology, and everything needed to be perfect. And then on top of that, what was I supposed to say? So I got in my own head, and I got in my own way, which I know is something probably all of you can relate to in one way or another in your life, right? So I've learned to just kind of get out of my head, just show up, just click the go, and here I am. And I can wing it, and it's okay, because the reality is people want to see who I really am and what I really think and have to say. And those that don't, those that my message or my personality, my character, when that doesn't resonate with someone, that's okay. I don't have to be a match for everybody. But when I show up, it makes a difference for the people that really, really, truly want to know what I'm about and what I have to say. So part of me showing up, I'm going to share a funny mom story. So my 5-year-old today, he was getting into the car. Let me set the scene here. We were running late for school for his kindergarten, and it had snowed more than I expected. So I was rushing to get him and my twins into their car seats and brush off all the snow, warm up the car. There was all these pieces, and we for sure missed his bus. So, so we were running late, and I'm buckling one of my twins in, and my son says to me, "Mommy," and he says this in the sweetest little voice, of course, and he's just so genuine with it. He's like, "Mommy, can you help me into the car again today like you did yesterday, but without the grumpy voice?" I was like, what? He stopped me in my tracks, and he made me think about, he called me out totally, because we were running late the day before, and I was grumpy that I had to help him because, at 5, a lot of times he can do things himself. So I start to count on that, especially when I am so busy with my twins that are not quite 2. And so I got grumpy with him the day before, like, why do I have to do this? You can do this. It felt like a lot on me. But today, the way that he called me out, it just, it warmed my heart, for one. He is just so aware, which is incredible. And when he puts things into words that most of us, most adults, don't put words to, we don't call it out. We let things go, we slide it under the rug, or we're like, okay, well, that was yesterday. he puts it in, and I'm like, oh, I can actually hear him. I hear him. He stops me in my tracks, and I'm like, yeah, I was grumpy. And part of that was me not showing up. Part of that was me putting pressure on myself and getting in my own way, getting in my head about what needed to happen, what should be done, what it should look like. So, I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't think anybody is. The more and more that I know of this world, we all are human, and every parent does the best that they can with what they have in the moment. And some of us are trying really hard, and we get it wrong sometimes. Grumpiness comes out. Sometimes we make mistakes, and it's really not about the mistakes. It's not about what mess up or where we're flawed. It's about how we show up, and with our kids, repairing when there's grumpiness or repairing when there's a mistake. This idea of making it better, of recognizing and taking ownership, being responsible. We don't have to know it all. We don't have to be perfect. And I think we get in our heads like, well, we're the grown up and we're supposed to know better, and we make the rules. And so sometimes, not only does that put more pressure on us, but sometimes it's harder for us to own when we got it wrong. It's harder for us to own and just be real when we're like, I should have known better. I should have, whatever, right? And so the reality is, when we can tell our kids that we made a mistake, like, oh man, you're right. I was grumpy yesterday. Boy, was I. And I can say sorry for that. I can acknowledge it. I can take responsibility and talk through, what happened? Where did it go wrong? What was going on for me? Or, what was going on in the situation? And like, yeah, I'm going to try and do better. It means so much more to our kids to show up and be real, to own when we made mistakes, or to have our flaws, and to show them it's okay if we're not perfect, because the reality is they're not going to be perfect either. They're going to make mistakes, and they need to know that it's all right. It's a part of life, and that even someone that they love and admire and respect and adore, their mom, their parents, even those people get it wrong sometimes. But the important thing is they show up, they keep trying, they keep working, right? And so that is, I think, the takeaway message for this Friday. It's like, this week, I want you to think about, like, how are you showing up? How are you being true to yourself? And does it have to happen just behind closed doors in your home or just with you? Or can it happen out in public? Can you just be you around everybody and own it and love it? And so what? Whatever they think. I'm just going to be here. I'm going to be doing my thing. And I love it. I love life. I love my kids. And they just thrive from being able to see that. So I want to ask you, I'm going to put it out to you. What are you doing to show up? How are you being real with your kids, with your family, and just in life? I want you to comment here, please. Leave a comment on here and say how you're showing up and how you're going to keep it real. What's one thing that you're going to commit to, whether it's parenting or on social media or with your partner, whatever it is. What are you going to do to show up and just be you and be okay with it? So please comment. I want to see this. I want to interact with you. I want to know more about what's going on for you and where the struggles are. Where is it hard to be real? Where is it that you feel, like, ooh, I can't say that, or oh, I can't look like that. I've got to hide. Where are those points in your life that just feel kind of like, oh, I don't know that I could just be me, or I could just fully be out there showing everybody that this is who I am, or this is what I believe, or what I stand for. So let's interact on here, because I want this to be a community where we can all show up and we can be real, and let's all just enjoy each other and be in it together. So live your best authentic life. And if you're having a hard time with it, reach out to me. Give me a call. I can help you. All right. Thanks for joining me. Come back next time. Bye.